So we are live. Welcome to another episode of the Greatness Engineering Hour show, the show where I bring you people from all over the world, champion, thought leaders, people that I call greatness engineers and engineering greatness in their wherever they are and wherever it matters, and really bringing the positive a positive impact in the life of in their own life first and in the life of the people that are surrounding them. So today it's not going to be different. I'm bringing you a champion from all the way from India, and we're going to talk about AI, robotics, and digital disruption. So it's going to be very interesting to have an idea of what's going on and what are the latest news about this very disruptive industry, and really understand where we fit into all of this. So who is this? Who is the guest today? Our guest today is Dr. Munish Jindal. He's the founder and CEO of HoverRobotix and the founding president of MENTORx Global. So he's had, numerous awards. He's been awarded an honor with highest civilian honors, and by the United Nations, he's been the Noble Asian of the Year. So lots of recognition, and I think he's going to have the opportunity to let us know. He holds a PhD in robotics and artificial intelligence from the US, but before that, he was actually here in Australia. So he studied in Australia at the University of Technology in Sydney before doing his PhD in the US. And he didn't stay abroad. He wanted to go back. So he went back to India to make a big difference and also help, introduce those new concepts there. And really, make sure that people understand the value and people understand the power that they can bring in their life and also globally. So he's been the one who launched the concept of Hoverboard, autobots, and mobility robots in India. And he's also been the pioneers of Hoverboard in India with more than 3,000 plus award under the hood. And HoverRobotix is number one brand in India and is featured among top 5 in the world. So a very, very, influential person, not only in India, but also around the world. So I'm not going to say more. I'm going to give him the opportunity to introduce himself a little bit more in detail. And I know that you're going to like him. You're going to like the input. And please don't hesitate to ask questions and give your opinion while we going through this conversation. And also don't hesitate, bring your paper, bring your pen, because there's going to be a lot of knowledge, and I don't want you to leave this platform without, having really taken all the knowledge. And next, I want you to implement, if you can implement, or to share, because not everybody is going to be able to have the opportunity to be exposed to this kind of knowledge. So if you can just share, it doesn't have to stop at your level. So I'm going to bring Dr. Munish now, and we're going to start our conversation. And please get ready for a very exciting conversation on AI, robotics, and disruption, technology disruption. Don't go anywhere. We're starting.
power of labels, right?
On memories. But as I got older, I started to be more aware of some of the abusive sides of
So, good evening, Dr. Munish. Welcome to the Greatness Engineering Hour show. It's such a pleasure to have you today and to get, to know you and also know everything, all the fantastic things that you've been doing and really have a great conversation about it. So before we get into, deeper into the conversation, just wanted you to introduce yourself in a bit more detail because it was just a summary that I gave, and let us know how you got to where you are right now.
Wow, wow. Namaste from India. Wow. It's indeed,
Namaste, namaste.
thank you, Mirala. It's indeed, I'm heartened for your kind invitation to be at the Greatness Engineering Hour show. Wow. You are creating greatness wherever it matters. And I'm indeed heartened to be here today. Thank you. It's been a warm, sunny afternoon there in Australia, and so great to be with you. Australia is very, very dear to my heart because I've done my high studies there. I've done my MBA there, my CPA there, and I've lived in Sydney for 6 years. And out of that, few of the months I've spent in Adelaide as well, in Melbourne as well. So yes, I've lived the life closely, and people love me greatly over there. And still, Australia is all there in my heart and mind. So today, it is even more special for me that we are doing this in Australia. So thank you for giving me this platform. And thank you for such wonderful introduction. I don't even know whether I deserve that. I'm humbled with the introduction part. Well, yes, I started working when I was 14. I was just 14 when I started working, and from there on, I took on auto parts units, ran it from 96 to 2003, and then 2003 I moved to Australia. There I did my MBA in UTS, University of Technology, Sydney, and side by side I was working as well. So learned a great deal. This my Australian stint taught me a lot: international exposure, diversity of culture, diversity of people. So it was very, very wonderful experience of life. Then I moved back to India because they say the tree grows where its roots are. I always felt that I'm born and raised in India, so my roots are there. So came back to India, and I have another, companies in coal mines, in chemicals, and real estate. But always, since my childhood, I was very fascinated towards the science fiction. Whenever there any Hollywood movie that used to get released in theater, I used to rush to theater to watch Hollywood science fiction movies. So always wanted to do different. Then I pioneered hoverboards in India. I'm the one who has launched hoverboards in India. And as of now, I'm the only manufacturer of hoverboards in India. So that happened in 2015, launched this startup, started making them. And as at that point of time, people in India weren't aware much about hoverboards. So then from there, 2015, I started doing roadshows, giving free rides to people aware. And from 2015 till today, the journey, I won't say it was easy, but it has been very accomplishing. And now we are number one in India, and we are featured among top 5 in the world. And then I always wanted, as you rightly said, that your show is all about the greatness of engineering, technologies, innovation, experimentation, creation, and disruption. So that is what I believe in, and I'm really feeling blessed how you and me, we think alike and we are on the same page. And then what happened that I thought of taking certified AI classes, artificial intelligence classes for the kids, and from there on, came into the picture to educate, to elevate, to empower, to elevate. Now we are present in 32 countries, educating people regardless of their age, regardless of their gender, their demographies, their geographies. Everyone are welcome. Our youngest client as of now is 4 years old. Our oldest client as of now is 70-year-old, and we have another women empowerment movement. It's called Global Wow Women. It's global sisterhood solidarity movement where we are connecting women with women. So we are trying to create a humongous evolutionary movement across the globe. Our vision is by 2022, all the 200 countries catering to
Mm-hmm.
8 billion. So that's what we are trying to do as of now.
Wow, that's a big, big mission. But knowing you, I know that you're on the path, and that's not something that's gonna scare you. You keep going. So I mean, just to start a little bit, I don't know. You probably want to do a presentation or something just to let us know a little bit about what you've accomplished so far. In through your two companies, HoverRobotix, Mentors, and also a lot of your new projects as well. It would be good just to know what's going on and how the human factor fit into it, because I think what's going on right now is that when we hear about all the disruption, robotics, AI, people start to get scared because they really think that the human, they are at risk, and all those machine, all those systems are going to replace them or are going to make them irrelevant. So that's really the scare that I hear all over the place. So it's always good that specialists come and really explain to us how those new disruption and those new concepts are going to be complementary instead of replacing whatever we have right now. So up to you now.
Wow, that's great. Yes, I will speak for another 2 minutes because I really
Mm.
loved the concept you talked. That then I would love to share my presentation. But here I really wanna let everyone know, as when you said that technology or robotics or artificial intelligence is going to leave us irrelevant. Rather, I am
Mhm.
going to say it's going to make us more relevant. Jobs are
Mhm.
not going. More jobs will be created, but what is going to happen now? Smarter jobs are going to happen. When I
Mhm.
said it is going to be more relevant, by that what I meant was it is going to lead us to our personal development. Now
Mhm.
we are doing work. That work would be done by machines, smarter robots, artificial intelligence. But then who is going to create that artificial intelligence? Who are going to make those robots? Who are going to make those us? So what is going
Mhm.
to happen? We have to prioritize our own development.
Mhm.
We are now the we what we have to do is learn to learn, continuously learn, and unlearn to learn. So
Mhm.
our learning
Mhm.
keep on going, right? So I always usually say that your learning is from womb to tomb.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
Right the time you just come into this world to your last breath, your learning keeps on going. So we will have to prioritize our own development, but we are the ones who are going to make these machines. In my presentation, I'm going to showcase you how humans and machines are working hand in hand and how both of them are happy. If you can
Mhm.
allow me the access to my another account, Hover Robotics, I would love to
Okay.
share from there. Yes.
Okay, not a problem. All right.
So yes, we are there. So I'm going to yes. Give me a second. I will be trying to locate. Yes. Just a second. And
So we just for people who are with us. So today my guest is Dr. Munish Jindal. Is based in India. Is the president of MENTORx, and is a very prominent person in AI, robotics, and new technologies. So today is gonna explain to us a little bit what he's been doing, because he's been revolutioning the technology world in India, and really understand how this technology fit into everything that we do, and also understand that it's more about we don't have to be scared. It's more here to serve us more than anything. So up to you, Dr. Munish.
wow, thank you. Thank you so much. So, what I really want to showcase is that technology is going to make our lives more easier, more better, and comfortable. And there's nothing to be get scared from the technology until and unless we are not using it ethically. They say whenever something comes in the world, whenever you're deploying something new, or whenever you're deploying something as powerful as AI, artificial intelligence, it should be deployed successfully and ethically. So when we talk about artificial intelligence, robotics, it fascinates us. Until a few years down the line, this used to be the subject matter of Hollywood movies. Usually people used to hear teleportation or AI or robotics, science fiction in Hollywood movies. But trust me, now it's no longer Hollywood movies. It's in the real world. AI is already in our real life, everywhere, in every sphere. Like way back in 90s, when internet started coming in, we used to have dial-in phones, and few people thought that if they had a landline, were working fine. They don't need to look for internet. They don't need internet. And same is now. People are thinking, okay, it could be artificial intelligence, but how? We are not concerned about it because we don't need it. But artificial intelligence is going to be into each and every single sphere of our life, and we won't be able to survive without that. And how that is going to change our life, I'm going to showcase you. This is how we are touching lives across the globe. We are being the game changers. We have so many initiatives in women empowerment, youth empowerment. We are mentoring startups, inspiring and enlightening the youth around the world. We have so many robotics workshops, sessions, and we are living with the concept to educate, to empower, to elevate. So basically, I'm going to showcase you what we are working right now. Here's a video I'm going to showcase you. Here you are going to see right now we are working on making you fly. Yes, you heard it correct. You are seeing right now on your screen, there's a wonderful human being who's flying in the air, and that is what we are working on. Soon, with the and this is a real life video I'm showcasing you. It is not a concept video, it is a real life video. Soon we, each one of us, like if they say it's a pandemic on earth, we cannot go out due to social distancing, start flying. And it could be possible that next time when we are being invited at the greatness engineering our show, we might land up flying over there. Isn't that interesting? That is what we're doing through AI, that we are going to make you fly. And when we talk about AI, we need it at the grassroots levels, at the formative years of the kids. Here, you might be you're seeing a picture of a boy and a robot. You might be seeing that boy is doing whatever robot is doing, but it's vice versa. The robot is doing what this boy wants. However, whatever gestures the boy is doing, the robot is doing identically. That is technology, making machines mimic us. Wow, isn't that interesting? And artificial intelligence is big time helping us in personality development. You know, artificial intelligence systems are so smart that they can measure, just quantify our personality by just our eye movements, just by our retina scans, just by our eye movements. They can let us know about our personality. Or even these AI algorithms are so smart that we click our selfies and they can let us know our personality traits based on the selfie. Isn't that interesting? Someone letting you know what kind of human being you are just from your selfie. And then here is the AI that can note your body reflexes whenever we're moving. Imagine a camera in your room and notifying your movements, letting you know what kind of ailments you might face in the future just by your body reflexes. So when we talk about, artificial, it intrigues, it fascinates, but what exactly it is intelligence, it is technology, it is study. That is what we are going to unfold. So AI has all the world leaders. They are very positive about artificial intelligence, about technology, about digital disruption. Here you're seeing Mr. Bill Gates, and he's propagating that through AI softwares, anything and everything is possible in this world. When it comes from Mr. Gates itself, you can imagine how powerful this technology is and what we're talking about, and how relevant it is going to make our life, and how more relevant it is going to make us. And here now you are seeing Mr. Tim Cook from Apple, and he's also saying the same, that AI can make everything autonomous and more beautiful. So what exactly AI is? Artificial intelligence is solve the intelligence. When we are creating any kind of intelligence by ourselves, we are solving it. Then what? What to do after solving the intelligence? Use it to solve everything else. Yes. Why AI? Why technologies? Why robotics came into the picture? We are facing problems every day in our life, and these technologies came in to ease our life. So that is what, first we solve the intelligence, then we use it to solve everything around us. So here I'm quickly going to showcase you, this is a BMW manufacturing unit. Earlier the cars were man-made. We human beings, they used to fit assemble the entire car on the assembly line. But now what is happening after the advent of AI? all these engineering, they put on the emblem and the series of the car on the body shell. Then that body shell is being transferred to the assembly line. Here you are seeing all the engineerings. They are clicking pictures from various angles. They're feeding it to the systems so that AI systems can rightly quantify and identify that which kind of car is it, or which model is it. And once they identify it, you won't believe the entire car is being made by these AI robots, right from transmission, engine, seats, steering wheel, everything. Here you can see that they are installing the car series number on the shell, and then these shells are going to move on to the assembly line, and all these robots, they are going to install everything. Imagine how beautiful, how autonomous the process is. When these robots, they work autonomously, they are so advanced that they can even measure the thickness of the paint, which a human naked eye cannot do. These AI robots are so smart that they can even measure the thickness of the paint, and if there are any deviations, there are cybernetics built in them that they can communicate the feedback to each other, and they can even denote the inventory. They have their own neural engines. They can mimic our brain and pass on the information. That's how smart machines producing smarter machines. So AI is the need of the hour, and I'm feeling blessed that we have wonderful people like Mirelle, and who is running this Greatness Engineering Our show. Cause what we need to do is we need to build a platform to engage educators with the ones who are developing the technologies, and that is being rightly done here. So we have to build the platform to engage the educators, whereby they develop the technology and design educational and training programs. We have to spread the awareness. We have to deploy the technology successfully, ethically. And we have to understand human intelligence. That is what I was talking about, that we are going to be more relevant in life, because it is about prioritizing your own development, your own intelligence, your own learning. And we have to keep on learning, continually learn, unlearn to learn. And we have to upscale our skill set towards metacognitive intelligence. And then we have to tackle emotional educational intelligence, big data, Internet of Things, data analysis, deep learning. All this is comprising. And then what is including in AI? Machine learning. When machine learning is machines, they learn from their environment and provide better outcomes. Natural language processing. Till few years ago, we had stereo systems, we had radios, speakers in them, we used to listen to them. But now suddenly there's a wave came in, Google Home, Alexa, there's another speakers, but what is happening? We're talking to them. Hey Alexa, how are you? What's the weather outside? Can you play this song? We're talking like as if we're talking to our friend. And what this Alexa is doing now, it's an AI engine that is doing natural language processing. It extracts the content, it classifies it in its own language, and it delivers us the required desired outcomes. Then there are visions, machine vision, and image analysis. That is image analysis. The right example is Facebook, which I'm going to explain. Then there is speech to text, text to speech, that is on the WhatsApp. Most of us while driving, I don't know how many of you are aware of this feature, that in WhatsApp we can just speak and it will convert it into text. That is again AI. This I'm showcasing here few of my students. They are in grade 5, 6, 7, and with the right guidance and right mentoring, they are developing so many projects that are being recognized at national and international level, and they're solving so many problems, and they are making the innovations happen. And here I'm in one of the biggest agriculture universities in the world, and we are bringing AI to the agriculture so that we should be able to fulfill the food scarcity, and as well as we should be able to deliver better food without fertilizers and pesticides, because AI technology can rightly deliver pesticides and fertilizers only if required. So everything has an impact cycle. Same as AI has its own impact cycle. In identify the decision, we have to identify what we want to do. We have to master with the data, provide it with the desired data, provide the meaning to that data, and then the actionable recommendations. What do we want? And then we have to communicate the insights, that whether everything is as per desired, or if there are any deviations, we have to correct it, and then we have to track the outcomes. That's the impact cycle of AI. And how AI is produced: artificial intelligence, machine learning, I already explained you, and then we have to train the data. Yes, you heard it right. The way we human beings are getting trained, we have to train the data. And then what does training the data means? That we are providing the right set of data to this AI engine so that they can work and they can learn from the environment. And always there is a need of human in the loop. So that one, we prioritize our own development, and also whatever we are learning, we are able to provide these two AI engines. Here, yes, right now you're going to see something very interesting. Here is this wonderful woman on screen you're seeing. Right now, pandemic is there. We are sitting at our homes, right? And we are wondering, we cannot go out. We cannot travel. Myra is in Australia. I'm in India. I'm sitting in India. I'm doing this talk today with her on the show. But imagine if I said we can teleport you. Yes, you heard it right. Teleport. That these are the terms again used in Hollywood movies, but now it's reality. How we can teleport you now? We can create your hologram, life-size cloning of yours. And imagine you sitting right there in Australia. You have to go to Japan. You have to go to Spain. You have to go to India. You have to go to Germany, US, UK. And imagine in one same time you are in each and every country, life-size holographic clone of yours. And if you only know how to speak English maybe, and but suddenly you are in Germany, you have to speak German. You are in Japan, you have to speak Japanese. Or you are in maybe in Italy and you have to speak Italian, but you don't know the languages. And imagine these clones of yours, these holographic clones, they can speak any language in the world. They are way much smarter than us. So this is where technology has gone, and this is again the real life video. This is not a concept. This is a real life video. You can check more about this technology even on YouTube. So you right now you're seeing this woman has worn the HoloLenses on her head, and you will what you're going to see is she is making a hologram happen of hers. Can you see this wonderful woman? And there's a hologram on her hand. This is her hologram that she has created through the technology. And this hologram can be projected in any part of the world. And soon you are going to see getting it converted into life-size hologram of yours. Imagine cloning, and it could be projected in multiple parts of the world, and they all would be speaking different languages. They might be delivering different notes, or they can be part of the talk shows as well. You don't even know right now whether I'm real or it's just my hologram talking to you. So did you see? There you go. Wonderful. Identical clone of this wonderful woman. And this one woman is speaking English, but the clone is speaking Japanese. So this is what I was talking about. Make the technology can make anything possible. Isn't that beautiful? You sitting at your home and your holographic clone delivering your speech in different languages. So AI has come a long way. We had Industrial Revolution 1, whereby we had steam engines and mechanized production started. Then electricity came in. Mass production started with the Industrial Revolution 2. Then with Industrial Revolution 3, it was all about electronics and information technology. And right now we're in Industrial Revolution 4, where it's all about artificial intelligence, automation, data exchange, IoT, Internet of Things. AI has its own neural network. Neural network meant that AI has its own brain, its own neural engines that can mimic human brain. Imagine technology mimicking human brains. So if we show you number 7, you are going to recognize it's number 7. It could be possible I'm writing number 7 in a different way. In a computer, there are different fonts. Someone else is writing in a different font or a different writing style. Still, we will recognize it as number 7 because we have been brought up that way. Our natural intelligence is like that. But how would machine recognize that? It has its own neural network, neural engines. It has hidden layers of data, and it can rightly identify that it's number 7 despite being different fonts, different writing styles. When those neural and networks and neural engines are deployed on robotics, they become the smart machines equipped with machine learning and the big data and learning from their deep learning environment. They can solve the problems, any problem, any given problem. Why AI came into advantage was to solve the problems. And this is what it can rightly do, that it can solve the problem. And cybernetics are their own communication networks. If everything is right, they communicate that everything is in order and everything is as per the actionable recommendations and according to the desired outcomes. And if there are any deviations, that is also being tracked. And this altogether fulfills the complete universe of AI. So what are the AI is in everywhere, but I am going to showcase you the most frequent uses of AI, like image analysis. You today in this session, you might click my picture, and if you post it in your FB, I'm going to get a notice that someone from Australia has posted your picture on the FB. What do you want to do? Now, how does Facebook knows that you have posted my picture? See, this is image analysis. If I have ever uploaded my picture anywhere on internet, ever, anywhere. Facebook has its track, so then it has its own AI algorithms that it runs behind every picture, and it recognizes the image, and then it sends me the right notification on my Facebook account. Virtual assistants. Right now, I'm in this talk show, the Greatness Engineering Art Show. But you can go down to my website, www.hoverrobotics.com. And if you write there, you want to talk to me, you can talk to me. But it won't be me. It would be my virtual assistant talking to you on my behalf. So how's that possible? I'm sitting here, I'm this show, and you're going down to my website and talking to me. Wow, see, that's the power of AI through my virtual assistants. Then predictive analysis. A technology can make anything happen. When you browse, have you ever noticed that when we go on internet, we are browsing different websites, then there are notice comes that this website uses a cookie and kindly accept the cookie for a better experience. Trust me, guys, even if you don't accept it, the experience will remain the same. What they're doing is they send the cookie just to track what exactly you're doing. They're even tracking your eyeballs through the cameras. They're tracking each and every keystroke on your keyboard. So supposedly you want to buy something, you want to buy maybe a dress for yourself. A dress came in black color, you closed it. A dress came in yellow color, you closed. And there's a very nice dress in a red color. There may be 4 or 5 dresses and you're browsing it. And then a dress comes in for say $50. You closed it. A dress came in for $5,000, you closed it. Then there's a dress in the range of 100 to, and you're browsing. So systems are predicting that you are going to buy something in the range of $100 to $200 in red color. Imagine, even before you making a decision, the machine knows what you're going to do. This is the predictive analysis. And this predictive analysis is even good in medical terms as well, whereby just by your body reflexes, your body movements, they can predict whether in the future you are going to face any ailment. And then machine learning, I already explained you how these machines, they learn from the data that is being fed, they learn from that and they give us the desired outcomes. Natural language processing, talking to a speaker like a human being. Wow, isn't that amazing? 10 years ago, had we ever thought that we would be talking to a speaker? Alexa, Google Home, we're talking to them and talking to them like friends and asking them to do things for us. Self-driving technologies. I'm going to showcase it to you. I was in Hong Kong. I got a chance to sit in one of these cars. The car came in, the rear door got popped open. I sat in the rear seat and it took my location from my phone and it dropped me where I wanted to go. Imagine how beautiful it is. Now you can see there is no one on the driver's seat and there are people sitting on the rear seat of the car and it moves automatically. And then it takes the optimal route through the Google map. What I meant by optimum route is that that route could be longer, but it will make you reach quicker. There is no construction going on that road, or there are no diversions, or there is lesser traffic. And these cars, they even know the next red light camera. They even know how many pedestrians are around. They even know the nearby cars. So they know when to stop, when to fast pace, what's the speed limit. They know each and every. These systems are so smart. You don't have to worry about anything. You don't even have to worry about speed cameras, speed limits, red light cameras. Nothing. You can go peacefully. That's the beauty of these self-driving cars. And this is future. This is going to happen soon. AI is everywhere in medicine. So I'm going to showcase you how beautifully they are changing the medicinal field. And then here is the Industrial Revolution 4. That is we are into the Internet of Things, the cloud servers, the cloud computing, cybersecurity, Internet of Things. There is so much in this technological disruptions. Big data is about deep learning. It is about when same way we humans, we go for a research of a particular subject and then we say, oh, this guy has done a 5 years research in this particular field in biotechnology and he's a doctor now, he's a PhD scholar. So same way when machines, they are fed with tons and tons and tons of data and they learn from that data and they improve. And that's called deep learning, and that's the big data they're supplied with, and they are able to deliver better outcomes. Artificial intelligence is in sports as well. I'm going to showcase you how it is helping in sports. So imagine, wait a sec, yes. Imagine you want to play a particular sport and you don't know how to do it. Right. And then suddenly artificial intelligence comes into picture and it improves your playing capacities. How? Maybe you're on a court, you're on playing, and you put your camera in the corner. From this camera of your phone, it would notify all your movements, how high you jumped, how you twisted your wrist, what angle you bent, and how strong your opponent is, what other things your opponent did better than you. And it is going to teach you where you're strong, what are your weaknesses, and it can improve your game, whether it's golf, whether it's tennis, or any given game. Imagine I love to play golf, right? Okay, if I play it in India on my favorite golf course, I know what kind of fairway it is. But imagine if tomorrow I have to play maybe in Perth, Western Australia, and I'm being invited there to play golf, but I don't know what kind of golf course it is, how tall the grass blades are, what kind of wind is blowing, and what turns the fairway is taking. Then if I use the technology, it is going to let me know everything, what kind of weather, the air, the grass blades length, how the golf course is going to turn, and at what angle shall I take a shot that I should be able to par the hole. Isn't that beautiful? So right now on your screens, you are able to see the pills that we take. These, when we get sick, we take these pills. We go to doctor, and if we have a fever or we have a sore throat, they write us antibiotics. They give us pills. We have to take them after meals, maybe 2 times a day or 3 times a day after every meal, and we have to remember. But imagine this robotic pill going inside your body, staying inside your body for a day or a week or a month, delivering you timely doses after every meal, and you don't have to remember. Or imagine as senior citizens who have maybe blood pressure problems or diabetic, and they have to take medicines every day for a longer period of time, and if they forget. So imagine this pill going inside their body, staying there for a year and delivering them timely doses. Isn't that beautiful? This is a robotic pill equipped with sugar needles. It delivers the desired doses. The sugar dissolves in the skin. The pill comes out. Isn't that a technological advancement? In the future, we are not going to fall sick. We are not going to have curative measures. Rather, we will have preventive measures. Now, when we fall sick, we go to doctor, we take medicine, and it's called curative measure. But in the future, it will be preventive measures. We will not fall sick. We'll be taking medicines even before falling sick. And now, wow, this you are seeing is my favorite. This is what we do. E-mobility. We are the pioneers. I'm the founder and CEO of HoverRobotix. We are the ones who have brought hoverboards, mobility robots, autobots to India. You stand on it, you think to move. Yes, it moves with your thinking. You think to go forward, it goes forward. You think to go left, it goes left. Think to go right, it goes right. You think to go backward, it goes backwards. It do whatever you want to do. You can commute from one place to another, and it is electrically chargeable, so you don't have to burn petrol or diesel or gas, and you don't have to worry about pollution. It is so portable that it doesn't even cause any kind of traffic congestion. So isn't that a revolution? This is a soon is going to be future. And if you can see on my cameras, see, there is one in my hand. There's one in my hand. This is what we do exactly. So that is the technological advancements we are talking about. Wow. So then, yes, this is really I wanted to showcase you. We were talking about when Myra talked about how people are scared that these robots might lead us irrelevant. This is an Amazon warehouse in US. Here, this robot is called Kiva. There are 20,000 Kiva robots are working in this warehouse along with human beings. Each we human beings can lift 10 kg, 20 kg, 30 kg, or maybe 50 kg. But this each Kiva is capable of lifting 320 kgs, and they each Kiva remembers an inventory to the tune of 10 million items. So in this Amazon warehouse, each and every human being is so happy because of Kiva. You know why? They're sitting comfortably in their chairs. They're just pressing few buttons on their computers, and whenever whatever item they want from the warehouse, the Kiva goes down to the aisle, brings the entire aisle to them. And if you take out particular item, it even remembers the inventory count, how many you have taken out and how many are left. And it can remember 10 million items. And when these 20,000 Kivas are moving in the warehouse, each Kiva knows the movement of other Kiva as well. And so they don't intersect. They don't bang into each other. They are equipped with the computer vision. They can see each other. They can feel each other. So imagine how happy these human beings are. And if the Kiva wouldn't have been there, these human beings would have to be into physical labor. They have to pick up that stuff by themselves. So see this how this is rightly improving our lives, and how beautifully it is nurturing us. And this is how when I told that these robots are going to make our life more relevant. So now what we have to do is, rather than lifting those goods by ourselves, getting into the physical labor, we just need to learn how to operate them or how to make them. Like I chose the other path, that I will start making robots, and most of you, if you can learn how to operate them, and there are more jobs for you. And now I'm going to showcase you AI in the farming. Why I'm talking about farming? You might be wondering why this guy suddenly is talking about artificial intelligence in farming. As of now, we have 8 billion people on Earth, and soon we are going to be 10 billion. There's going to be 25% increase in population, but we need 60% more food to feed this population. We are already have food scarcity. So when we are going to bring AI into the farming, it is going to be smart farming. It is going to let us know the nutrients in soil, temperature of the soil, what kind of wind is blowing, how much moisture is in the air, what kind of rainfall we're going to have, what kind of weather is going to be there, what kind of crop we shall grow that we are going to get the maximum yield, or how many multiple crops we shall grow, and what should be the right harvesting time, how much quantity of fertilizers or pesticides it requires, or we can grow it organically. This is the beauty of AI, that it can let us grow maximum food on a lesser land in more smarter ways, and organic food that is good for our health. Isn't that amazing? This is, and it would even let us know what kind of rainfall we are expecting, how much moisture is in the air, that so that how much, and it can reduce the water required for irrigation, our dependence on water that is required for irrigation. Here I'm going to showcase you a very wonderful video. Right now, what you're seeing is a tomato harvester. And you're going to see very interesting factor on screen, that how this tomato harvester is harvesting the tomatoes. Right on your screens, you're seeing 4 different colors of tomatoes: green, orange, yellow, and red. But can you notice what this tomato harvester is doing? With computer vision, it can see the tomatoes, and it is only harvesting, it is only picking up the red ones, the properly ripened tomatoes. The rest of the tomatoes, it is letting them grow. If the human being would have been harvesting them, they just have gone and they have taken off the entire bunch. But now, see this machine that is so smart that it is only taking the ripened ones. This is how our lives are going to improve, with better food, better health. The video right now you're seeing is a RoboDog. This video is just 3 weeks old. This video is being taken from Singapore. This is one of the most busiest parks in Singapore, where this RoboDog, it's being developed by Boston Dynamics. It is implementing social distancing. Wow, isn't that interesting? It is continually announcing people to stay away from each other, to follow social distancing, and it has the power of the cops. It has a computer vision as well. So when people are not following the social distancing norms, what exactly it is doing? It is issuing them tickets on the spot. So imagine a RoboDog, an artificial intelligent dog, is recognizing people, issuing them tickets on the spot if they're not following the rules. Wow. Now you might be wondering why a RoboDog? That can be done by a cop as well, but it's pandemic. We shouldn't be going out. So one, we are saving a human life. Then second, this RoboDog is solar chargeable. It doesn't need any food. It doesn't need any break. It can keep going 24x7. So that is how technology is helping us during the times of pandemic. And till now, we've been talking about robots or machines or humans. How about if I now talk about a human that is a robot? This is Sophia. Guys, welcome, humanoid. She talks like us, she walks like us, but she's a robot. And shall I tell you something else? She even mimics our emotions. She smiles, she shows anger, she winks her eye, she even shows love, empathy. So that is where we are gearing towards technology, mimicking our emotions, mimicking our human brains. And this is the power of humanoid. She's officially the citizen of UAE. I got a chance to meet her in one of the bigger universities in India this year in February. And Japan is working big time on them. There was a recent expo that was happening in Japan, and there was a very beautiful girl sitting at the reception to help people about the expo. But in turn, she was a humanoid. So that's about it from my side. Thank you to you for listening to me. And this is all about technology. If you have any question answers, you can ask me. And on screen, you can see my details. If you think I could be of any help ever, there are my numbers, my emails, my websites. I am available 24x7 to all the guests of this show. If I could help anyone, I could support you. I'm always available, always at your help, always at your discretion. Thank you so much. Thank you,
Okay.
Mera.
You're welcome, and I think there's quite a lot of question right now, so we're gonna try to address as many as we can, because it's fascinating to see what's going on in the AI world. But at the same time, like I said, it's a bit scary, and so I have a question from Ingun. Ingun is watching from the Netherlands, and she has few questions actually. So she's asking, how can we use AI on tackling using worldwide challenges we are facing right now, like health? So you talked about health, poverty, inequality, and she has another. She's continuing here. In this world, it might be necessary to really find solution for so many issues we are facing. So instead of faster, furthermore, we might have to focus on less and going back to the basic, like well-being, happiness, peace, and safe environment, end of racism. So how do you think, how can we use AI for that? Do you have an opinion on that?
Wow, wow. Thank you, Ingambol, for such a wonderful question. And she herself has answered her question very beautifully when she said that we have to focus on less.
Mm-hmm.
Not only less in terms of technology, but lesser in terms of we have to find equilibrium in human psychology as well. We have to get away from the greed. We have to get away from the hoardings, that yes, we shall hoard the wealth, we should hold the things, we shall hoard the
Mm-hmm.
materialistic no, we shall find the equilibrium. And when I talked about health, yes, that I already told, rather than like people are thinking that how to cure the disease. I'm altogether saying this technology is going to go into the preventive measures, that we won't fall sick, our mortality rates will increase, we will have the preventive measures. When in terms of we're talking about poverty, that is why I talked about AI in the food, that if we would be able to grow more food with on a lesser land by using lesser resources, then there would be more food available for people. That will reduce the
Mm-hmm.
poverty. Right. And then when it comes to racism, see, that is more a psychological human factor, that we humans have to understand that whether anyone is sitting in Netherlands or someone sitting in Australia or me sitting in India, we all are equal. We all are human beings. We all deserve the same respect. We all deserve the
Mm-hmm.
same love. We all deserve the same dignity. Whether regardless of our genders, regardless of our race, regardless of
Mm-hmm.
our skin, regardless of our religion. So this is what we have to upgrade. When I said that we have to prioritize our development, this is what I'm talking about. We have to prioritize our development in these factors, so that we should get away from this racism and we shall embrace all. And when we talk about universe, that is altogether, see, today we're talking about this technology, but racism is altogether a
Mm-hmm.
matter of another spiritual universe says we all are one, we all are matter of energy, we all are connected to each other. And people might have experienced this in life, that we haven't talked to someone maybe for a month, and suddenly we start thinking about, and suddenly we get a text or a call. See, telepathy happening. That is why, cause that person is connected to us, he or she is our energy connected. And when we think, the message reaches through the universe. So we
Mm-hmm.
get over the thinking process. And then when we talk about the yes technological advancements, we have to think of technological advancements in terms of problem solving.
Mm-hmm.
Technology, the very first time when technology was happening, take an example. Thomas Edison invented bulb. Why he invented it? To give us light. He
Mm-hmm.
wasn't trying to do something different in life, he was solving a problem of darkness. So but
Mm-hmm.
in these days we are more gearing towards comforts and luxuries, which I am totally in sync with Ingambol, that she was right. Rather than going for comforts, and we should be solving more problems through technology.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
And
yes,
that
we have
that's
right
the
AI
thing, yeah.
tools, and if people are willing to implement, there are very so yes, if by using those AI technologies, we can make things happen. And she's saying we really need
Mm-hmm.
to bring the human factor in the core of AI. Yes, Ingam, that is happening. Humans are working hand in hand with AI. That is why I said that now even AI is getting so vast that it has its own neural engines and neural networks, and it can even mimic our human brain. So we need the ethical deployment, and that is why we always need human intervention. We always need human in the loop. So we know that technology could be deployed ethically. Otherwise,
Mm-hmm.
right now we are seeing a pandemic, a medical pandemic. There could be a technological pandemic. We are not far away from that. That suddenly we're seeing all our technological devices crashing if the technology is not deployed rightly and ethically.
Mm-hmm. 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 And that's the thing. It's just, technology is just a tool. It's not about the people behind the technology, the people using the technology or making the technology. And that's where the ethical part is coming in. Because if they don't have, a good ethic, they're gonna use it for to do bad things. And if they
Yeah,
really, and that's the thing, is the technology itself is not harmful. It's really the people using and implementing the technology. We have to make sure that they're doing it for the good cause. There's another question here from South Africa. That's Eva. So she's in the translation business, and
uh-huh.
she wants to learn a little bit more what AI can do for, because she translate from one language to another. And I think you mentioned it in your presentation at some point, where yeah. So if
That
you can add
what
something on that.
AI is very beautiful technology when you talk about translations and all. See, what AI can do for you, if you're speaking, it can take down the notes for you. Like it
Mm-hmm,
can convert speech to text. And the beauty is, if you're speaking in English, you need the notes in Spanish, you need the notes in Japanese, it can do that. And
mm-hmm,
regarding the translations, AI can translate any language into any language. It can even convert textbooks into digital
mm-hmm,
library.
mm-hmm,
It can scan the entire textbook, and just by the camera, and
mm-hmm,
it can a digital library for you. So there is a vast, and as I can see, she's writing Eva Arisani, author, speaker, sworn translator, facilitator. So AI, there are tons and tons of AI tools that can do every single thing just at your discretion. You just speak whatever you want, and it will even write books for you in any language you want. So there are so many vast tools, and if you still think I can be of any help, please feel free to connect with me.
exactly. And there's we have Terence. Terence is in the US, in LA, I think, and he wants to know, if there are easy training for seniors. If you do some easy training for senior citizen to learn a little bit more about AI, and I suppose he's fascinated by what you presented, because I saw one of his comment here, where it was like a life-size hologram and cloning, feel like Star Trek and being me of Scotty. So it's yeah. So I think he feels a little bit lost as a senior citizen. So he really want to know how can
No,
he catch up on all of this.
really great. Thank you, Laris Leftridge, for such a wonderful question. Yes, you're
Mhm,
right. See, and we need to marry authentic intelligence with the artificial intelligence. Yes. Oh, thank goodness you're talking about authentic intelligence. And I thought Terence wants me to marry artificial intelligence.
So,
So,
and that's the thing. The tools are only as good as the person who use it, or even the person who was manufacturing it, because it's really the intention that's the more important. There's another question, but I think that's what's happening. I think in your organization, Ingun wanted to know, how do we involve more women, because she is the director of a global movement of women, and I think she wants to know how to involve more women, and how her organization, Female Wave of Change, can contribute as well, to this
great.
uh, to this movement, or to solve this problem.
Yes, see, Ingam, what we can do is, see, when people, so many people around the globe suddenly from past 2, 3 years or 4 years are talking women empowerment, always say that women are already empowered. They don't need any
Hmm.
kind of empowerment. A woman, she gives birth to a life. So, woman who's giving birth to a life, she is capable of doing anything and everything in the world. But what happens is, women across the globe are the symbol of sacrifice. When
Hmm.
in their teenage, they sacrifice their dreams for their parents. Then they get married, they sacrifice their dreams for their husbands. Then they get kids, they sacrifice their dreams for their kids. So all we need to do is, we just need to show them a little spark, or certain they
Hmm.
just need a little direction, that yes, you have it within you and you can fulfill your dreams. That is what we are doing at Mentorex Women. We have our initiative called Wow Women, whereby we are doing global solidarity sisterhood movement, connecting women with women and forming their tribes. So when we show them a direction, the spark comes from within them, and they want to fulfill their dreams. So more and more and more women can be part of this movement. Or if you feel, yes, we can literally bring a female wave across the globe, and we can connect these women, and we can form such huge vast community of women itself, whereby they would be nurturing each other. So it can be like we have already started the movement, and once we are going to connect them, it would be on autopilot mode, that they are connecting with each other, and they're nurturing each other, they're enriching each other, and they are making things happen. This is what we are, MENTOrx women. And if you think we can join hands, I'm always available.
That's fantastic. I think it's just so amazing. I mean, everything, there's so much going on, especially with AI, and you can see. I mean, there's still a lot of question on, where do we fit as human being into all this process? Because when I was watching this presentation, I had the feeling that, hey, I'm losing, I'm losing something, because it's getting too far. And I agree with Ingun, where it's like, oh, we still have, very basic problem to solve. Why are we going so far? Why are we not addressing those problems first, and then we can go a little bit more? But let's digest all of this. We're gonna have a small break, and come back, and have a conversation, continue the conversation that we just started. And for those watching, if you have questions, please leave them for after the break, and let's continue this great conversation. It's just fascinating to see, the exchange of of ideas going on. So don't go anywhere, and we'll be back pretty soon.
Google, Facebook, Apple, Microsoft are all moving ahead at a great speed in improving this artificial intelligence software. So it's very exciting. Software is going to solve that, where it'll look at all the new information and present to you, knowing about your interests, what would be most valuable. So making us more efficient.
We're focusing on what we've talked about, on autonomous systems. And we sort of see it as the mother of all AI projects. So autonomy is something that's incredibly exciting for us. We'll see where it takes us.
Wouldn't it be wonderful if someday we got to the point where there were robots every place? They were running farms, they were running Apple, they were running Berkshire Hathaway, and all you had to do was one person could punch a button at the start of every morning, and all the goods and services that we're getting now would be turned out by robots.
It is seeping into our lives in all sorts of ways that we just don't notice. We're just getting better and better at it, and we're seeing that happen in every aspect of our lives, from medicine to transportation to how electricity is distributed. And it promises to create a vastly more productive and efficient economy. And if properly harnessed, can generate enormous prosperity for people, opportunity for people, can cure diseases that we haven't seen before, can make us safer because it eliminates inherent human error in a lot of work.
Artificial intelligence is going to be extremely helpful, and the risk that it gets super smart, that's way out in the future, and probably worth talking about. But now what we're seeing is that for the first time, computers can see as well as humans. That's pretty incredible.
NHTSA did a study on Tesla's Autopilot version 1, which is relatively primitive, and found that it was a 45% reduction in highway accidents. And that's despite Autopilot 1 being just version 1. Version 2, I think, will be at least 2 or 3 times better. That's the current version that's running right now. So the rate of improvement is really dramatic. We have to figure out some way to ensure that the advent of digital superintelligence is one which is symbiotic with humanity.
AI is probably the most important thing humanity has ever worked on. Now, I think of it as something more profound than electricity or fire. And anytime you work with technology, you need to learn to harness the benefits and while minimizing the downsides. Stepping back, when you think about a lot of problems in the world. Today, it's because we typically have a constraint on resources. AI, for the first time, I think, over time, offers a different construct. Things which are constrained and look like a zero-sum game today may not be so in the future. Take education, for example. It's really difficult to educate people in a cost-effective way. AI may fundamentally change that equation. It may make it possible for us to have clean, cheap, renewable energy for the future. So I think a lot of things will play out in more positive ways than people think.
I think probably by end of next year, self-driving will encompass essentially all modes of driving and be at least 100 to 200% safer than a person by the end of next year. We're talking maybe 18 months from now.
The idea that there's going to be a general AI overlord that subjugates us or kills us all, I think is not something to worry about. I think that is overhyped. First of all, we don't know, we're nowhere close to knowing how to build a general AI, something that could set its own objectives. But second of all, I think it's unlikely that such a thing's first instincts would be to exterminate us. So I'm optimistic about that one, and certainly don't think we need to worry about it today.
Wow, that's, I mean, it's still, we're still asking ourselves a lot of questions. And I think there's, in the audience, there's Ingun still and Eva as well, who actually insist that we should still, keep this find a way to keep this human factor. We don't want to be out to leave this, behind. It has to be the first thing when we look at AI, start with humanity. What are we trying to solve as far as humanity is concerned? And then, use the knowledge and use the AI, which is a tool to be able to do that. How do you think we can avoid that? Obviously you in your work, you do, I mean, the technology, but you also involved in the education side of things. So how do you make sure, that those two are linked, that the humanity is taking into account and people are educated to understand that that's the priority?
Yes, see, I will start with, I'll let you know very important thing. Once Mr. Henry Ford, the one who invented the, he was being interviewed and he was asked that if he would have asked people that what they want, what he said, what they will answer, they would have answered, they want faster horses, that no one would have wanted car. So he invented the engines, and now car is a very necessary part of our life. We cannot survive. We cannot commute without them. So same is this technology. We cannot slow the pace by which this technology is being developed. We cannot say we don't need it. We don't need the new things. We definitely need the new innovations. There's so many things that need to be solved. Every day we face problems. There, as Ingun herself posed so many problems of poverty, of inequality, of health, we need to solve. So we should never slow down the pace of technology. Yes, now comes to the part of education. One, we shall educate the kids, the youth at the right formative years, that they shall be developing technology for the problem solving, not for, just for the luxuries and comforts. Second, as I already said, that this should be deployed very successfully and ethically. Ethical part is very important. Otherwise, the next pandemic that we are going to see would be a cyber pandemic. Right? Already going through pandemic, that is a health pandemic, disease pandemic. But soon, if the technology won't be deployed ethically and successfully and rightly, the next pandemic would be cyber, whereby all our devices have gone corrupt. We are not able to operate, or there is no internet, or we are not able to access our systems or mobile phones. Imagine how worse the life would be. Suddenly, that all your documents are lost, or you don't have control on your bank accounts, or you don't have control over any of your life or your digital life. Because these days we are too much dependent on our digital. Now we have to even, keep a balance on that as well. That we have to keep a balance on how much digitally we are dependent. So we have to inculcate this in the education part, that yes, we need all this. This is our part of life, but this is not our life. The way we are gearing towards the digital life, what we are making more digital itself as a life. I don't know how many we have of us have a real friends. Now we have tons and tons of friends on Facebook. How about a real friends? How much we socialize? Okay, fine. Now it's a pandemic. We can't go out. But what about before pandemic? How much we were socializing? What about after pandemic? We are doing video calls. Why don't we meet once in a week? So we need to learn all these things. It is us. We never have to lose our human factor, our human touch, and we have to pass it on to generations after generations. They need to learn this, that human touch, human factor, human interactions, human socialization is very important. And third thing is the most, that when we're developing technology, or I will again say that we have to prioritize our development. We have to be smarter than these machines always. And if we keep one thing in mind, this technology, this machine, this AI is created by us. They can never be smarter than us if we are continually developing us. Right now, machines have started learning from the data, from the environment. So we have to keep on upgrading ourselves so that we can work on these machines. We can make these machines. Right. In our organization, we have so many things. We are not only even making this, we are even upgrading our people, our staff. We are teaching them. And side by side, me, besides making robots, we have artificial intelligence certified workshops so that we can guide the next generations aptly in the right direction, in the right way, so that they should be adaptable to technology and they should be knowing what to develop and they should be able to use the right use of technology in the right direction. Otherwise, take an example of this way. We have militaries, we have, nuclear assets, but everyone in the world is, afraid of using them because it is going to bring disaster. So same way we should be knowing that we shall never let technology backfire on us. Aware. That is why time and again I'm saying ethical use, ethical use, ethical use.
Ethical use is very important. I have another question here from Terence. Speaking of the human factor, many people are scared of their personal life being infiltrated by technology. How do we balance AI advancement with our privacy and security? Because that's the scare that I was talking about. Not only you have the impression that you're losing control because it's now very difficult. But I think what's important, like you said, is the education, because people have to know, when they use something, it's not just a matter of just using it and putting your data. You need to understand, and that's where the education part is going to be difficult. But I'll let you give your view on that.
Yes, so it's a wonderful question by Terence. What he's asking. So the thing is, see, for that, today our entire life is on digital. We have to apply something, maybe a driver's license, we are filling the form online. We have to open a bank account, we are applying it online. We have to do transactions, we are doing it online. We have to buy something, we are buying it online. Everything has gone online. So we have to reduce our online dependence. If you are worried about your privacy and security, you don't have to. Now what we are doing, okay, Marielle, she sent me such a nice blazer, or she gave me an iPhone gift, right? And I'm putting it on Facebook. My parents are going on vacation, I'm putting it on Facebook. I'm doing a house party, putting it on Facebook, or putting it on. Why do we have to let this know to everyone and to the entire world what is happening in our personal life? We ourselves are giving the others to peep into. Take an example. If you don't know me, will you let me peep into your house? That what is going on inside your house? No, you would be like, hey, what are you doing outside my house? So same is your digital asset is your home. Why you are letting everyone peep into your digital life? What is happening around? Okay, you have a wonderful certain information. You have accomplished something in life. You want to share, or you are socializing with people. Socialize, but you don't have to share every aspect of yours on digitally. When you are doing that, you are making yourself vulnerable. You are putting yourself at risk. You are sharing everything digitally, and then you are worried about your privacy and security. So we have to find an equilibrium. We have to create a balance, that what shall be going online, what shouldn't be. People first, they put that, okay, new admission of my kid into so and so school. Oh, he would be following this route number bus. And then you're afraid about your kid's security. Why you are giving the information to the entire world? Okay, your friends know, your families know, your relatives know, your cousins know where your kid is studying. That's fine, more than enough. Hopefully that addresses the issue.
Yeah, and I think you're right, because and that's what I said. It comes down to the way we're going to educate people about technology, because people, we need to tell them technology, the good and the bad, and it has to come across, because sometimes people don't know, they actually don't know that putting all of this, they're exposing themselves. So that's why, the education part is going to be very important, to be able to keep this human factor, and for people to make informed, decision on using technology. And that's going to be the key thing. And some of the curriculum will have to be adjusted in school or anywhere, because it has to start very young, because the children are starting to use the technology very, very young. So they need to understand if it's dangerous, when it's dangerous, and when they can use it safely. And that's I think that's the challenge that we're gonna have with all those technology being developed, and not really knowing, the power of those technology, and how we should be using them to solve the problems that we have, instead of just using them for the sake of using them. So there's again another question here from Terence, and then is asking about the entry level jobs opportunity that are available. You know, what does AI, bring, as far as because what we gonna, and I think we're starting to get into this problem, is that we have some of the jobs that are gonna come, they don't exist yet. And yet, there's a generation of people being educated for certain job who are actually going to disappear. So how do you manage that?
See, take an example. The banking system earlier used
Mm-hmm.
to be pen and paper based. Ledgers, it used to be called ledgers. When there were no computers, how banking used to be
Mm-hmm.
done. That you go into the bank, they open up a ledger, they find account, they denote an entry with the pen that this much, and that all used to be ledger based. A book, I mean, a register has been maintained, right? Then suddenly the computer started coming in. These people in the bank, they didn't know how to use the computers, so there
Mm-hmm.
were training programs ran for them, and then suddenly the banking jobs open up for the computer professionals. The ones who knew how to use computers, they were being hired. So same during the break when you played the video, at the end there was written when that video finished that by 2022, 58 million jobs would be created in AI field.
Mm-hmm.
58 million. That's a huge number if you talk
Mm-hmm.
about just cause of AI. So it depends on us what we want to do, whether we want to develop AI, we want to manufacture AI, or somewhere where AI is being used, we want to work there. And if you talk about now these days, AI is everywhere. If just a very simple example, right now, Domino's, you go to the system, they know your address, they know your phone number, they even know your favorite pizzas. They even know that whether you like pineapple on a pizza or not. Right? You call up, hey, Merit. Oh, yes, you call up. They even recognize you through your phone number. Right? They know you're calling. Okay, last time your order was this. You want this, and you like this. You don't like this. Or even if you're allergic, now in the future, what is going to happen is, imagine you're calling down Domino's, and
Mm-hmm.
your doctor's prescription, your Domino's, your bank account, your health, everything is linked. And imagine what is happening. You're asking Alexa, hey, Alexa, connect me to Domino's. Okay. But Alexa is saying, hey, you shouldn't be having a pizza because your health doesn't allow. And you're asking Alexa, how do you know? Oh, I read your reports. I read your blood reports, and they are
Mm-hmm.
not saying that you should be having a pizza. Still, you are insisting, and you are placed. And then you call down the Domino's, and Domino's knows, okay, you like this pizza, but you are allergic to sesame seed, so they wouldn't be putting up sesame seed. And suddenly you have put in an order of 20 pizzas. You are throwing a house party, huge party, and now suddenly Alexa is again pinpointing your credit history. And now you're wondering, Alexa, why you're not making the payment? Hey, you shouldn't be throwing the house party. Your bank is not allowing that. Your credit history is going to ruin. You won't be able to pay your credit card. Imagine this is where AI is going to be like so interwoven, interconnected. It would be knowing each and everything of yours. So it depends on you what spectrum of AI you want to work. Whether you want to solve a problem, you can start building up your own technologies. Or if you want to make a product, you can start making your products with the AI. Or if you want to work somewhere, go to an organization. When you're talking about entry level, AI is going to be everywhere. Even I was reading the other day, there was this cyclist. He was cycling in a secluded mountains in US. He was just
Mm-hmm.
wearing an Apple Watch. Apple Watch was monitoring his heart rate. He fainted, and when his heart rate started dropping, Apple Watch notified, measured it, and it called 911, and this guy got saved. Imagine
Mm-hmm.
just one Apple Watch saved one human life. So it's all up to you how you want to work. You want to develop technology, you want to solve life problems, you want to manufacture a product, or you want to join any organization. AI is going to be everywhere. It is already
Mm-hmm.
everywhere. You need to see Google Map is an AI map, right? And we're already talking about self-driving cars. We're already talking about dominoes. We're already talking about doctor medicines.
Mm-hmm.
AI is everywhere. We're talking about Apple Watch. So it's all up to you how you want to pursue for yourself and for the others.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Fantastic. So we're gonna take another break, and we'll come back and conclude on the show. It's just so amazing. I don't know how we're gonna stop this discussion because it keeps coming. But let's have a break so that you can also have time to prepare to end the show. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back pretty soon.
Some build, others tear down. Some take risks, others critique the risk takers. Some pursue the infinite, others settle for a life of limitation. Some make change, others complain that things are no longer the same. Some help people grow, others think that your loss is their gain. Some learn from misfortune, others become held down by it. Some turn fear into opportunity, others avoid the unknown. Some never stop learning, others think they have all the answers. Some do, others talk. Some give, others take. Some live, others wish. Some see an opportunity, others see an obligation. Some work toward the possibility of excellence, others run from the possibility of defeat. Some fall and get back up, others stay where they are so that they never have to worry about leaving their feet. Some embrace the elements, others take shelter. Some search, seek and discover, others wait to be told. Some perform, others watch. Some persist, others stop. Some make the most of every single day. And others watch those very same days go by. So which one are you? What will you create with the pieces presented to you? Not tomorrow or the next day, but right now and every second moving forward. Will you build or tear down? Take the easy road or the road less traveled? When all is said and done and you've come to the end of your story, what will it say?
So we are back. We are back with Dr. Munish, and it has been an incredible evening, Doctor. And one thing that I want to ask you before, we leave or before we finish the show is, you've done already so much, and we can see your inspiration and your drive in what you're doing. So what is really the legacy that you're working toward?
See, I'm living my life just with one principle: make others rise. We're not here to compete, we're here to coordinate. So wherever life gives you an opportunity, help others, make them rise. And trust me when I say this, that we are connected, we are one. And we are a circle. Life is a circle. We always call it a circle of life. You can even read about it, circle of life.
Mm-hmm.
You complete the circle, and life itself completes it for you. When you start giving, trust me, it comes manifold back to you. I'm not saying it from any book, not saying anything from what I read. I'm saying it from my personal experiences. It's been 24 years I'm working. I'm into 9 different domains as of now, operating in 32 different countries, right? So what I have felt is when I started giving unconditionally, it has automatically come manifold to me whenever I take these sessions, right? Well, like today I'm at this greatness engineering art show, and I'm feeling privileged. Same way I go to many universities, many colleges, and I deliver session. Maybe there's an audience of 2,500 people, right? Or 5,000 people listening to me, 10,000 people. I go with just one notion that if today I be able to change just one life, my session is successful. So the legacy we are building is that we are humans. We shall be here to serve other humans, and we shall raise the bar for each one. Each one has the right, and each one deserves to live and lead a happy, beautiful life. So wheresoever, in whatsoever way we can contribute, we shall definitely contribute and make them rise.
Fantastic, powerful, and it's really, really, really strong. I see that there's Janelle here, Janelle Harris from the US as well, just joined, and she's already amazed. And again, Terence, we are connected in the cycle of life. Don't compete, coordinate. And it's such a powerful, powerful statement because we've been so geared toward competition, and it doesn't bring us anywhere. So it's time to think about this cycle of life and really start to coordinate and work with each other and try to raise each other like you want to do. So how can people connect with you? Because I know that it's getting crazy in the comment box. I don't think I can continue. It's just such a long list. How can people connect with you and really continue this conversation, but also get access to your knowledge? Because some were asking about trainings and different things about humanity, the human factor of AI. So yeah, so what? How can they connect?
See, I am based in India, but I'm available to all my fellow human citizens 24 by 7. When I'm saying
Mhm.
24, I really mean it. I hardly sleep. I sleep only 2 to 3 hours every day. And
Wow.
because I believe I am here for a bigger purpose, and my purpose is to serve the humanity. And especially during these pandemic times, people around the world need us. And due to digital, the life has gone more busier because, like today, right now, I'm delivering this session in Australia. And after
Mhm.
immediately after this, I have a session in UK, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
So, and then in between, after your session, I have a session in India, and after Indian session, I have a session in UK. So
Mhm.
now we are even more connected with each other. So I'm available 24x7. Eh, And on an average, we are doing 1 to 2 different summits every day. Summits,
Mhm.
training programs, workshops. So I invite all of you to be part of it, and we are not charging any money for anything. It's all
Mhm.
honorary. So
Mhm.
what
Mhm.
we can, our tendencies, whatever we can serve, if we can derive any value, if we can derive any meaning, please take it. I believe in giving. I totally believe in giving. So we are doing couple of summits every day. Wheresoever, whatsoever you want to join, you are most welcome. Any of our trainings, any of our workshops, any of our summits, conclaves, most welcome to join. And then you are most welcome to be part of our global network, whereby I already told you we have MENTORx and MENTORx women. And if there are few women, I found they're only comfortable with women around, so that is why we have MENTORx women. If you want to be part of that, that is a global movement. As already told, we have Wow Women, a global sisterhood solidarity movement. And then otherwise we have MENTORx, that is again right now in 32 countries and growing by the minute. And you are most welcome to be part of the community, and you can flourish. And if you think I can be of any help or support to towards your growth, or to make you help grow, to make you go into the right direction, I'm personally available as well. If you
Mhm.
think any advice, or you need any of my support, or my network, or my people, they can help you. I'm always available unconditionally. So you
Okay. All right. Mhm.
websites, and yes, that's great, wonderful.
Mhm.
So in every way I'm willing to help them. And you can share, if you have my number, you can share that as
Mhm.
well, so they can connect with me on WhatsApp.
Okay, all right. So that's not a problem. So I'll put the number here, and I know that you, since you said that you're available 24 hours, I think because Terrence has a show, and I know that he wants you to be part of his show. So you probably gonna be contacted by Terrence pretty soon, and really, so this is the number for those who want to connect with Dr. Munish. The number is here, and don't hesitate. This guy knows so much and he's so passionate about what he's doing. You will not regret. So please get in touch, and really, get the opportunity to participate, and like he said, to coordinate with him, to collaborate with him, because we are all connected. And it's not about competition, it's about collaboration, and it becomes even more important right now with what we've been going through for the last few months. So please don't hesitate to connect, to connect. And I think we're gonna laugh here. So remember, Dr. Joe, you are only one man. Get at least 4 hours of sleep. Be blessed, and thanks, Mr.
Well,
Mr. Unstoppable. And I think you have competition here, Terrence, because Terrence is supposed to be Mr. Unstoppable, but then you don't sleep, so you are the real unstoppable person. But that's
so
fine.
before we conclude, I really want to deliver one message here.
Yeah.
So I really want to showcase some power to you. You know how? So see, today I'm sitting in this Greatness Engineering R show with Mirele. Mirele saw me in another show in India, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the show that I was doing in India, the organizer was Ekta. She saw me in another show. She invited me to her show. From there, you invited me to this show. From here, Terence is inviting me. So can you see the chain reaction? I just thought of helping someone that, okay, if me coming to their show will deliver the right message, I will do it. But now a chain reaction started. Someone else invited from there. So why I'm letting you know this is that in your life, without thinking what you're getting out of it, please do something, and it is going to start a chain reaction in your life of bringing things back to you multifold. I That is why I discuss this, that from one show to another, I'm hopping onto 10 different shows just because of this chain reaction. So imagine what more life can bring to you if you think of just giving something unconditionally. This is
So,
life of
and
life.
that's true, because when you give, you get back, even more than what you gave. And that's why people don't understand, when you give, you get more than when you get. and
Before
and and
I start
and
giving,
really, that's, yeah.
I'll give you back.
So that's unfortunately the end for us today. It's been amazing, really amazing. Thank you, Dr. Munish. It's been incredible. I think, and I knew it, because like I said, when I saw you on Ekta show, I said I need to have Dr. Munish on my show. And now I'm really happy that you're traveling all over the world. So next time you'll be in the US with Terrence, and it's gonna be it's so amazing. And because I can see that the value that you are creating, and the revolution that you are creating in India, and I think it's now moving globally, and that's very very, very good. So thank you for everybody who've joined us today. I hope you got you got plenty of knowledge from today. And I really want you to connect with Dr. Munish, because he is amazing, and he is accomplishing and doing some amazing thing through his work. So don't hesitate to connect with him. And so the number is here. You can go on WhatsApp, or if you need more information, then I've put the website as well, or you can contact me and I will connect you directly. So don't don't hesitate, and please share the knowledge. It has to travel. It has to travel. It can't stop at your level. The knowledge has to travel, and please implement whatever you can as well, because it's not, I don't want it to be just left on paper. It has to be implemented. It has to be shared. So thank you very much all, and have a great evening, Dr. Munish, and enjoy the rest of your day on the other part of the world. It's been an amazing evening for us. So bye-bye, and thank you, Doctor.
Namaste. And guys, keep giving your love to the greatness engineering our show. My relay is creating tons and tons of knowledge, inviting people who's who across the globe. So keep sharing your love with her. Keep taking this show to its own greatness and glory, so that more and more people can get in touch with the show and they can get the desired amount of knowledge they want. So all the more love for the greatness engineering our show, and all the more love for you, Mirele. Thank you. And
Thank you very much.
I'm again feeling privileged to be at the show and being hosted in Australia, all the more dear to my heart. Thank you.
Thank you. I know. Thanks. Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.